Sunday, we've got Vikings at Buffalo. Let's talk about it. Minnesota, they're 7-1. Buffalo, they're 6-2. Potential Super Bowl preview, perhaps by jerseys only, since it's still unclear if Josh Allen actually plays. Head coach Sean McDermott said of his star quarterback that right now he's considered hour by hour. To which I say, come on, man, what the hell is that? Hour by hour? You could say he's still day to day or game time decision. You're unnecessarily adding more drama to this, but okay. By the time that Sunday comes around for the Vikings defense, you're going to face either Josh Allen or Case Keenum. We'll see how it plays out. As for the rest of Buffalo's offense, this will be the first time playing up against Stephon Diggs since being traded to the Bills. Currently third in receiving yards behind the first-round pick from that trade, Justin Jefferson, which it only makes perfect sense that it's 10 yards that separates the two. And in the history of sports, I don't know if you can find another trade that worked out this equally for both sides, but Diggs, he's a passionate player. He's going to have extra fire in the belly to show off against his former team. Regardless who's at quarterback, he will make plays and he will talk shit after. For the corners, stay focused. Do not allow him to mentally take you out the game. Live to fight another down. And as far as the rest of the receiving weapons, Gabe Davis, when he's not dropping the football, he's pretty good. But that's the problem because each year his hands have gotten progressively worse. At the same time, you can't take it easy on him because averaging 25 freaking yards a reception, he's due for at least one big play a game. Isaiah McKenzie, he's their underneath wideout when all else fails. And tight end Dawson Knox, he's a nice security blanket, but with the threat of Stephon Diggs and potentially Gabe Davis, for the Vikings secondary, you have to neutralize the deep ball. Limit the big plays in the passing game, and for the pass rush, you got to bring the heat because Josh Allen and Case Keenum, they're both mobile quarterbacks. It's not enough just to bring pressure. You have to actually close out on the sack plays because if you don't, they just bought themselves more time. Coverage eventually breaks down. Good night. And they don't typically emphasize the run game, although if Keenum ends up playing, I would imagine that they would. Devin Singletary, he's there between the tackles guy. They also got Nyheim Hines, who they recently traded for from Indy. He can absolutely cause problems in the passing game. Shifty footwork, he can get outside when he wants to. Fast for no reason. If the Bills' offense, if they're ever in a rut, Nyheim Hines is the guy that can bail them out for a new set of downs. We'll see how much they decide to use him in this game, but when he's out there on the field, be ready. And lastly, going back to the pass rush, their offensive line, Buffalo, they've got some problems. You have to win the trenches. That's where your biggest opportunity lies. Although with quarterbacks that can scramble, oftentimes they can counter the pressure. Case Keenum, hell, he did that for us in 2017. Pressure and closeout must go hand in hand on Sunday. As for Minnesota's offense, the Bills' defense, they're going to be without at least two key starters. Safety Jordan Poyer and defensive end Greg Rousseau already ruled out. That's tough. And two other heavy hitters, linebacker Tremaine Edmonds and cornerback Tre'Davious White, is questionable if they play. With that said, you still have to account for Von Miller. Christian Darrisaw, he's playing at an all-pro level. Brian O'Neill, he's going off as well. Although I do think with guys like Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones, we could see a repeat of interior pressure to the likes of what we saw last Sunday against Washington. I think Kirk's going to go through it, which is why the need to get rid of the ball quickly, emergency strikes. TJ Hawkinson, I think he's going to have a big day. For the offense to sustain drives, he has to. And if the Vikings are going to win this game, he's going to be a big part of that, maybe even player of the game, at least on offense anyway. And even banged up, the Buffalo Bills, they still have the fourth-ranked defense, so it's going to be a fight. Don't force the run. Expect for their D-line to win most of the battles at the line of scrimmage. Play action is okay, fine, in shotgun anyway, but doing it under center, by the time that Kirk turns around and tries to get his feet set, the D-line is going to be right in his face. Kevin O'Connell, the play calling has to be on point. No more falling asleep after the scripted drive. Calling a putt-putt offense is not going to cut it against this defense. Maximize every drive that you have offensively with the limited opportunities that you have. I think the Vikings will do enough to escape with a victory, with or without Josh Allen playing for the Bills. I'm going to say the Vikings, they win this game 24-23. Responding to comments, that will come back on Monday. We're in the final stages of packing up this house to get ready for the move to Pennsylvania. We'll see you on Sunday after the game.